And we're back, guys. Back with some awesome footage. Today we're checking out some crazy construction and mining fails, and we'll be breaking down every single one of them. On top of that, we'll also take a look at some interesting footage from our mine and show you how we deal with situations like these on the job. But first, we'd really appreciate it if you could support the channel. It helps us grow faster and bring you even more content like this. All right, let's get this thing rolling. All right, things didn't exactly go according to plan here. I mean, they made a rookie mistake. They should have secured both the trailer and the truck, maybe by throwing some wheel chocks under the tires. But once the bulldozer shifted its weight onto the back of the trailer, the whole setup started sliding down the icy road. And the result? Well, you can see for yourselves. And this right here, well, just look at those rear wheels. They are completely twisted. Now, this is just my guess, so I could be wrong. But I think the truck started rolling backward, then suddenly turned sideways and tipped over. I have actually seen this happen before. You are hauling a heavy load up a steep incline. The engine suddenly shuts down, and the truck starts rolling backward before the driver has a chance to react. Now, this one's a little different from the last one. You can't really say the truck slid because of the icy haul road, since the road actually has a slight uphill grade, so that pretty much rules that out. If I had to guess, I'd say the driver was probably scrolling reels or texting. Yep, he's stuck pretty good. This was supposed to be a controlled mine blast, but looking at that shockwave, I would have said a suicide car bomb had just exploded. The dust around it kicked up so much, it looked like the whole mine was collapsing. I'm telling you, something terrible went down there. Now this is a controlled blast. Underwater rock blasting doesn't have to mean huge risks or massive shock waves. Techniques like this are designed to break up hard rock underwater while keeping shock waves and vibrations much lower than with traditional explosives. That is especially important for projects near bridges, ports, dams, pipelines, and other environmentally sensitive areas. All right, we're back in Russia again. We'll be watching a bunch of footage from Russia, mostly older clips with lower resolution, but they're just as awesome. So here we have a classic Russian scene. Frozen roads in the middle of nowhere, and one determined truck driver trying to be brave. Well, it usually doesn't end well for the driver. On icy roads like these, especially going uphill without tire chains, the odds are definitely against him. Let's see if the bulldozer can pull him out. Well, it looks like the D9 is going to save the day, and hopefully the truck driver learned a lesson from this one. Still in Russia, guys, flat, snow-covered terrain can actually be far more dangerous than icy hills. On wide open areas like this, you never know what's hiding beneath the snow. That's exactly the trap these bulldozer operators fell into in the next two clips. Let's take a look. This is pretty messy right here. All right, same trap, same scenario, but this time, the recovery went totally wrong. So the first bulldozer on the right got stuck. Then a second one came to recover it, and it got stuck too. After that, a third bulldozer showed up to pull out the second one. That's wild, man. All right, let's see how this turns out. Hopefully the third one doesn't get stuck as well. And the second one is done. Too bad we don't have the footage of how they recovered the first one. I'm pretty sure that was a pretty awesome recovery. Another recovery coming up, and this time, it's a pipe layer. I'm guessing you already know what happened here. Yep, as usual, the pipe was either too heavy or the pipe layer was sitting on soft, unstable ground. And in situations like that, the pipe almost always ends up taking the machine with it. You'll see a few more pipe layer accidents like this later in the video, so make sure you stick around. You could definitely call this a bad day at work, and for a reason. And for a good reason, we can say this truck driver turned out to be the hero of the day. Watch. Hope you figured it out. Earlier in the video, we talked about how flat, snow-covered terrain can be extremely dangerous to drive on. Well, it looks like it's just as dangerous without the snow. This ex-CMG front-end loader got stuck. Well, I can't really call it mud. Let's just say it sank into soft, wet ground. And the more the operator tried to get it out, the deeper it sank. I know that feeling all too well. Now let's see if these mean-looking tractors can pull it out. Luckily for the operator, those mean-looking tractors got the job done. Now, you're about to see some seriously bizarre scenes, all because of social media and chasing views. The incident happened back in 2012 during the filming of a car show. Russian automotive blogger Eric Davidovich was supposed to drift on a frozen lake using a backhoe. Well, the ice couldn't handle the machine's weight and suddenly gave way. As the backhoe sank, Davidovich started pounding on the windshield with his fists, trying to get out. That's where the footage cuts off, but fortunately, the rescue team managed to pull him out alive. And if you think Davidovich is crazy, just wait until you see this guy. All right, don't try this at home. Actually, don't try it on top of a building. Russian stuntman Yevgeny Chebotarev decided to launch his Lada Niva from one 5-story building to another. The buildings were about 16 feet apart, and they stood more than 50 feet above the ground. He built a ramp on top of the first building, hoping to carry enough speed to make the jump. Well, that didn't exactly go according to plan. The Lada came up short, slammed into the edge of the other building, and then fell more than 50 feet, landing nose first and getting completely destroyed. Somehow, Chebotarev walked away without a single serious injury. We've gotten used to seeing stuff like this coming out of Russia. You know, something's going on, the camera's focused on the action, and then, out of nowhere, some drunk dude with a bottle of vodka jumps right into the shot. If this drunk guy wasn't dark-skinned, I'd swear this was somewhere in Russia. And the drunk guy was like, "Hey, wait, let me help, I can push." Scooping up a 10-ton boulder can be pretty fun, especially when you dump it. That boulder slammed into my bucket so hard, I honestly thought they were both coming off together. I'm not sure what happened here, but the ending is absolutely awesome. Pulling the sprocket carrier off an M1 with a Humvee? Yeah, why not? I've actually done the same thing with a grader, except it was on a bulldozer. At first, it looked like a bullet train was about to slam into the tractor at full speed. And then this happened. Well, if you ever wondered what a real-life Transformer looks like, now you know. I think this one's an evil Decepticon. Looks like Hightower from the Constructicons. Alright, now you're about to see why it's so important to take a wide turns when you're hauling a long trailer. The thing is that the loader was towing the truck, so the truck driver didn't really have many options. The truck just simply followed wherever the front end loader pulled it. This is what happens when you let flip-flop guys run heavy equipment. Poor load assessment and zero balance. Luckily, nobody was standing next to that tire. Now in the next clip, you'll see how the pros do it. And look at that. Just look at that. Look at that symphony, that balance, that teamwork. To me, watching this from behind, it looks like a pack of wild animals tearing apart their prey. This is wild, man. By the way, these front-end loaders are trying to drag a marble block weighing dozens of tons. I think those are L350Fs and 972K. Speaking of wild animals, this reminds me of a pack of wild dogs taking down a gazelle out on the savannah. Poor little car, but at the same time it looks absolutely awesome. This is actually something that happens pretty often. The reason is that transmissions or engines can suddenly fail on steep grades, especially in extreme heat, causing the truck to lose drive. Now you're about to see the truck suddenly start rolling backward. The operator with the hydraulic breaker tried to stop it, but there wasn't much he could do. We also saw a car right behind the truck, but somehow it managed to get out of the way just in time. And somehow, against all odds, the truck stayed on its wheels the entire time. From what we can see, the driver wasn't seriously injured, and if he was wearing a seatbelt, he probably walked away with nothing more than a few bruises. A pretty similar situation here, except this time the truck's parking brake failed, and the truck started rolling forward. Despite everyone's desperate attempts to stop it, the truck just kept going. Luckily, there was another truck parked in front of it, and unlike this one, its parking brake actually held. It managed to stop the runaway truck with all those machines on the trailer. And boy, trust me, that's heavy as hell. That's for sure. This is exactly why I love CCTV footage. The whole thing happened right in front of the camera. The trailer literally slid right off the rear axles. Yep, just like we promised earlier in the video, more pipe layer fails coming up. The biggest causes of accidents like this are soft, unstable ground, and the sheer weight of the pipe. In this case, the soft ground is clearly the problem. It only takes one machine to start sliding, and it'll drag all the others with it, just like a domino effect. Same thing right here, soft ground, and the whole thing leaned over under all that weight. The pipe was so heavy it probably pulled the machine so hard that the cab was torn right off. You can see fuel leaking everywhere. Total mess right there. The night shift is just getting started, and something tells me it's going to be one hell of a night. Now this is way better. Moving big boulders off haul roads with either a grader or a front-end loader has always been fun for me. You have to be very cautious here. If that big-ass boulder falls on that extension cord, there goes the whole production. By the way, those extension cords power the shovels, drill rigs, and other mining equipment. It happens pretty often that the ground where the truck gets loaded is soft. The truck can usually drive up to the excavator just fine while it's empty. But the tricky part comes after the excavator loads it. Once it's fully loaded and starts driving away from the excavator, that's when it gets stuck because of all that weight. Well guys, that's going to be all for today. If you enjoyed what we're doing, give us a thumbs up and support the channel so we can keep growing and bring you even more awesome content. Until the next video, stay safe out there.